now. Am I correct?
I think you're right. Yeah. Wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. Fine with it.
So there are the players. You see Dave Sharfman on your left and Tyler Schiner on your right. Sharfman has dropped the Patriots jersey, picked up a Game Academy shirt.
Yeah. Is he wearing a Giants hat today?
Well, that wouldn't make much sense after a Patriots jersey.
It looks like it, though, doesn't it?
I think it's definitely the right colors. It's either a Giants hat or a school hat, I think.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a Giants hat.
Well, if he wins the tournament, we'll have to
didn't
ask
he
him
lose?
about that.
He must have lost a bet to be wearing the Patriots jersey because he's a Dolphins fan.
Oh, that would make a lot of sense.
So
We'll have to ask him. Well, I'm sure it's just a
it's a
bet
Giants
for
hat.
honor.
It's
Yeah.
a Giants hat. It's a Super Bowl hat.
That's awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
So when I told him that us New England players had to represent yesterday, he probably hated that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Now, something that's pretty awesome is, I think this is pretty well played on David's part. In the Swiss, you don't really want to be the Giants. You want to be the Patriots. The Patriots are really good at the Swiss.
Oh, that's
But
true.
once you're in the finals of a tournament, you don't want to be the Patriots.
Once the pressure is on, to ditch that, pick up a Giants hat. I like
Pick
it.
up a Giants hat.
That makes perfect sense. Immaculate, impeccable strategy by Sharfman.
So Blue Black Zombies also at the top of the standings at the Grand Prix
Yeah.
over in
Lille.
it's in France, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Richard Parker.
Baguette.
Oh, oui, oui. We know French. We're not all stupid Americans, right?
Obviously not.
No, of course not.
Foodie Fafa.
I'll assume that's a word. Let's see. Tyler Schiner has 4 dispatch. Those won't be very good for him. But
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who wins this die roll.
yeah, that'll be important.
Tyler mulliganing.
Probably had too many Memnites, too many dispatches.
I mean, he knows what cards are good here, what cards aren't good.
Right.
A lot of the time you see an opening hand against David, and you're like, all right, this is basically a mulligan 5.
Yeah, we actually saw multiple opponents yesterday. They didn't know what Dave was playing. They kept really bad hands in the matchup.
David's on the play. Tyler going down to 6 cards.
Not good. Not good for our Tempered Steel player.
Not good for Tempered Steel, but quite good for our Pro Tour champion, David Sharfman.
Yeah. He looks pretty happy about it.
Hey, he's pretty psyched.
His hand's probably pretty good if he looks that happy.
Not even looking at the table, it's so good.
Yeah. Doesn't need to.
Yeah. When you're playing card games, just in general, and a person in a hand with you or a person you're playing against starts looking away from the table and is still very much a part of the game, you're normally in a lot of trouble. If you can leave meta open for your meta leak, that's probably a good time to do it.
We'll see if Tyler Schiner picks up on that. Not that he can do much about it in his all sorcery speed Tempered Steel deck.
Oh yeah, I mean he is
he has his spells and he can play them. That's about it.
being proactive.
So there we go. Sharfman leads with Swamp. Tyler Schiner, Plains. Looks like he has a Memnite, he has a Signal Pest, he has a Tempered Steel.
That's a good hand.
It is. Wow. So risky. So aggressive play by Tyler Schiner. Does not care about the 3 Tragic Slips in Sharfman's deck. Just goes for Glinthawk.
And maybe he feels like he has to.
Yeah, he probably does. He has to beat down this blue-black control player before he can catch up.
Yeah. And yesterday we saw him playing around like everything that was written on his opponent's deck list after going to see the list. So
Right.
it's not like he's just wanting disregard.
No, you definitely have to know when to switch roles. And Signal Pest. So Signal Pest, Memnite, Glinthawk, Plains. 2 turns in, Tyler Schiner has 4 non-land permanents.
Yeah, and David's just gonna be like, all right, let me see if I have a Black Sun Zenith, because if
Yeah.
I do, you just lose right now.
Exactly. Swamp, Black Sun for 1. Kill everything but the Glinthawk.
Make it a 1/1
Yeah,
forever.
that's 17 life.
That's and after your opponent mulligans, that's just about all you need.
That's about it. But that's not a swamp.
That is not a swamp.
Tyler's really happy to see that. He's breathed a sigh of relief, I'm sure.
Sometimes you just need to play like they don't have it.
Yeah, you do.
I think Tempered Steel is definitely a deck where that's a truism. All right, so it's looking like David's play this turn is flashback Think Twice.
Yeah. He might have something like a Go for the Throat on the Glinthawk, but I would have think he would have cast that last turn. Oh, and there's a Tragic Slip on Signal Pest.
All right.
So only 4 damage.
Yeah, falling
not
down to
7.
13. Would have been a big difference.
Yeah.
That Signal Pest had gotten to come in. And Glinthawk. Idle.
Tyler puts it on the table. He knows that if David has any sort of counter, he will counter that, being one of the most important cards in the matchup. But he doesn't have it. Wow.
Yeah.
So Tyler on the maul, on the draw, but with a really strong start here. Makes you wonder what Sharfman kept.
Yeah, I mean, and it's interesting. Like this start, it looks really good. But Tyler had a 1-lander in mulligan.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. His deck can apply a lot of pressure and keep a lot of hands that other decks can't. And that's one of the big advantages of playing, one of these Tempered Steel strategies. A Gavany Township for Tyler, a 3rd land, that's going to be pretty good. Now he doesn't have double white.
Yep, so he'll play Origin Spellbomb to activate his Glinthawk Idol, pre-combat.
In Origin Spellbomb, pretty good here, because even if David does have, let's say, a Black Sun Zenith, then, end of turn, he once again gets to pop himself back up to 3 power on the table.
Right.
Origin Spellbomb, and draw another card, giving him a big opportunity to just blow David out with a Tempered Steel the next turn.
Right, 1 mana closer.
Yeah.
Important to note for that Gavany Township, Tyler Schiner only has 4 Razor Verge Thicket and 4 Mox Opal to activate that. So 8 sources.
You can't really afford much more. Any lands that come into play tapped.
Right, you can't do.
That's just unacceptable for this type of deck. And most of your spells are colorless anyway.
Yeah.
It's not.
He's fine with that Township never even being active. Just as a nice upside, it's great. So
and
now
we saw the Township win him a match earlier. Ooh, a Curse of Death's Hold, and that's going to be really good here.
Oh, yeah. End of turn, we'll see if Tyler Schiner cycles this Origin Spellbomb to get 1 white mana closer to a Tempered Steel. I don't think we'll see him do that. I
doubt it.
think he'll save that. And that's another Glinthawk Idol, I think. That's a good draw.
That is a good draw. I mean, even though those Glinthawk Idols are only attacking for 1.
Yeah, Sharfman's still at 5 life after this attack. Take 2.
Yeah.
Drop Sharfman to 5. Sharfman untaps and draws. He needs something like a Grave Titan right here. Wow.
And
wow, or a second curse.
Yeah, Tyler can find his way out of this. He needed a white source that turn.
He did.
There I might have dug for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that might have been the play at that stage.
Yeah, now
he'll draw a card.
He'll dig.
Oh, well, no, because he only had 1 mana up, and it costs the extra white to draw a card, not the extra white to make a token.
That's completely reasonable.
I always get those 2 reversed.
Ooh, and the land that comes into play tapped. Not what he wanted to see there.
No, now he's going to let David flashback Alchemy.
And now it's also going to be really difficult for him to resolve a stroke of genius for 4.
Yeah.
David's side of the table.
Tyler Schiner, though, is only 1 land away from being able to pay for a mana leak. So if David hasn't managed to find one of his 2 Dissipates or 2 mana leaks, that Tempered Steel could resolve.
Yeah, if the Tempered Steel resolves, Tyler's still very much in this game.
Yeah. Tyler represents 4 damage at that point. So other threats of Tyler's that live through Double Curse involve Hero of Bladehold. He has 1 of. And that would be it.
That's it?
Yeah.
So he really needs to resolve this Tempered Steel.
So now we can probably understand why David Sharfman kept this hand.
Yes, we can.
2 Curse of Death's Hold, pretty good against a Tempered Steel opponent. So Sharfman will flashback, think twice.
Main phase, flashback, think twice.
Yep. Finds a Drown Yard and plays a Ratchet Bomb. Wow.
Ooh.
So if there's ever a time for Tyler Schiner to resolve this, it is right now. Oh, and he drew a Mox Opal to activate those Glinthawk idols. It actually looks like he already had a Mem Knight.
But it's really strange because had he had, had it just been a land instead, he could have. It's a May. You may turn the creatures,
Right.
I believe. So he will obviously choose not to.
He will not turn those into creatures.
And I think it's worth it to play around the Mana Leak.
Definitely. Tyler Schiner knows that David Sharfman has 2 Dissipates available to him to counter this. He knows his opponent most likely has one, but he has to go for it anyway. There's nothing he can do. And Sharfman says...
Survey says...
Wow, Sharfman fanning through his hand like he might not have it.
I mean, if you don't have it, if you do have it, you just snap.
Right.
Use it immediately.
So Tempered Steel resolves. Tyler Schiner doesn't, or he looks pretty surprised.
Yep. Makes both of the Glinthawk idols into dudes. And...
Oh, gonna come in with the Nexus too. No reason not to at this point.
Yeah, completely reasonable. I agree, he has no hand.
Nothing to bluff, that's for sure.
Sharfman falling to 1 here.
1 life, 1 poison.
Yeah.
And that Ratchet Bomb's going to be a turn slow.
And despite Sharfman having this excellent hand, and Tyler being stuck on 1 land for a few turns,
Right.
mulliganing, and, not having the white to cast his Temper still managed to pull it out. Double Glinthawk idol for you.
Really
against the black
impressive.
control deck.
This game isn't quite over yet, though, as David Sharfman has Tribute to Hungers to gain life. You can also say Snapcaster, Tribute to Hunger, something like that. And he just needs to buy 1 turn for that Ratchet Bomb to tick up to 2.
Yeah, and then he's got a very, very solid window of opportunity. It's difficult, though. Right now, the game is definitely looking like it's in Tyler's favor.
Right. Oh, it actually looks like David hasn't taken the damage yet. So we're still in the combat phase. I have to... Okay, so blows the Ratchet Bomb to activate Morbid, and then Tragic slips the Glinthawk idol.
Okay.
So
only going to take 2 there, fall
yeah.
to 3. Also taking 1 infect damage.
Yep, so 3 life, 1 infect.
Yeah. A white source off the top gives Tyler lethal. A 0 casting cost artifact also gives him lethal.
Yep.
He has the Gavany Township in play.
So we'll see what he draws here. Oh, this looks like a tap land. Nope, untap land.
Ooh,
But a Nexus.
not what he wanted there.
Now Tyler Schiner has to figure out what Sharfman's plan is. At this point, I think I just attack, go for it. Wait,
He doesn't have.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough mana to activate that township.
He does not have the mana to activate the township.
We'll get that fixed for you.
Yeah, I'll get that fixed. So Dave, not gaining 3 life, gaining 2 life.
So Dave Sharfman at 5 life, not 6. And he will dig with a Forbidden Alchemy, flashback.
Yeah, now David's got to just be a huge favorite here.
Yeah, now he just needs to find some way to close out this game before he dies to Infect.
Yeah, and Tyler could have dealt him 2 more Infect last turn.
Yeah.
And instead activated. No, but you used that to activate your Glinthawk idol. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate for Tyler if that was caught right at the moment.
Yeah, he would have been.
3 Nexi, activate, and 3 Infect. Bring Sharfman up to 4. Yeah, he could have easily been at 6 right now.
And then, yeah, he's, same clock, but a much different clock when you take into consideration cards like Snapcaster Mage and Tribute to Hunger and Tragic Slip and...
Right. Yeah, Dave Sharfman, the weakness of this blue-black deck is it's so hard to close out games, and we're seeing that now. Sharfman, 2 Grave Titan in his deck for big creatures. Also important to note, he has 2 Ghost Quarters in his deck.
Vault Scourge?
Pre-combat Vault Scourge, wants to play around Mana Leak. Smart play.
I agree.
No Cryptic commands to play around in this metagame. Activate, 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 attack. Sharfman, 7 poison.
7 poison.
Wow.
And, he'd be at 9 poison right now if Tyler had realized his mana situation that turn before.
Exactly. End of turn, David Sharfman will Stroke of Genius for 8, Blue Sun Zenith for 8.
And that's,
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
He just needs to find 3 removal spells, and this game will be close to over.
Because even by finding, had Tyler attacked with those 2 Ink Moths, this game would be very different.
Yeah.
Because David would need all 3 on 1 turn.
Exactly. Oh,
now,
I see a Ghost Quarter.
A Ghost Quarter.
So
that's one.
That's
and
one
that's
part
a
of the
very
puzzle.
free one.
Yep, only costing a land drop. As David Sharfman fans through his hand of about 20 cards there. About 16. So 2 mana. Think twice.
So
Wow.
he doesn't have it yet.
Tyler has to be feeling pretty confident about this now.
Draws a Swamp Wolf, think twice. Not what he wants to see here.
Wow.
But, David's not dead this turn. We know he has Ghost Quarter.
Yep, there's the Ghost Quarter.
And maybe if Tyler had attacked, David would be dead this turn, but...
Left in David's deck, he has 3 Snapcaster Mage. He has, I believe, 1 Tragic Slip left. 1 Tribute to Hunger left. So it seems like he's drawn a lot of cards, but there really aren't that many that he can draw to kill Inkmoth Nexus.
Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he would definitely love some of that card right now. About 3 copies. So 2 more mana. Ratchet Bomb. That'll get there eventually.
Yeah, he's going to have to take that up to 3.
Yeah.
Take out the Tempered Steel.
That probably won't be relevant.
Probably not.
And now he's moving to his discard step. And we'll see if he has it. Holding a hand of a ton of counterspells. Mana Leak, Dissipate at the very least.
Yeah, counterspells are not what he's looking for here, though.
No. If Tyler Schiner could win this pre-board game, it would be really, really good for him, because I think it only gets better post.
Yeah, Shrine of Loyal Legions?
Yeah.
That's a big game.
Exactly. And actual ways to interact with Curse of Death's Hold.
And Tyler activating his Ink Moths.
Yeah, he'll see if Sharfman has it. I think at the end of this turn we'll see Tyler Schiner with 1 Inkmoth Nexus.
I think you're right. And that would... It's gotta be painful.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the table judge unable to stop him from activating that township in time.
No, well, he just let it happen. That seems...
So Sharfman will flashback, think twice.
That's not how rules work right now.
Ghost Quarter to Nexus. So Sharfman will go fetch up a basic Plains. And he takes 2 poison. Wow. Sharfman hasn't found one of 3 Snapcaster mages. Tribute to Hunger, Tragic Slip. He has 5.
Kind of unbelievable.
Yeah.
He drew so many cards. He Stroke of Genius for
8.
For 8.
And 4 before, too. And this turn he's played Think Twice and drew another card, too. Pretty amazing. So 4 life, 9 infect for Dave Sharfman. And he'll Nephalia Drownyard himself, put a counter on Ratchet Bomb, and untap. His deck can't have too many cards left in it at this point.
Now he draws Darkslick Shores. Not what he wants at this point. Plenty of land.
So
yeah, somebody on Twitter points out wisely that even if he's able to kill 2 of the Nexuses on that turn, that Tyler could activate a Gavany Township and attack with 1 Nexus.
Right.
And still have lethal. Of course, he'd need to draw more lands in order to do that. Doesn't have the mana to do it right now.
Oh, another Drownyard.
Or would not have, rather.
Dave Sharfman's back is to the wall here. It seems like he's been in complete control the entire time. But he didn't have the counterspell for the Tempered Steel. He didn't have the Tragic Slip for that turn 1 Memnite, Glinthawk. He just hasn't had it at any point in this game. But there's a Ghost Quarter.
Yeah, 2 Ghost Quarters in David's deck. Pretty good.
Yep, Sharfman 1 step closer. His hand is Mana Leak, Dissipate, Dissipate. So if he can manage to kill both those Nexi, Tyler will be in big trouble. Draws a Township.
Yep. You have to imagine Tyler's just going to activate both Nexuses.
I think you have to here.
Yeah, I mean,
Sharfman has 3 mana open. No, more than that. I think he does have some more lands off to the right there. Tyler asking a question about Sharfman's graveyard. Wants to play around Snapcaster Mage, if at all possible. Activate Nexus, activate Nexus. And attack. And this looks like Snapcaster mana.
yeah.
Yep, this will be a Tragic Slip.
And then he's also going to have a Ghost Quarter.
Yep.
Deal with one of those.
So Tyler will fetch up a land. And now that Tragic Slip is morbid, all the Gavany Township tokens, or all the counters in the world won't matter here. And Tragic Slip. We'll see if he puts a counter on that Vault Scourge.
And it's looking like David's going to win after all.
Yeah. Tyler will need his 1 remaining Inkmoth Nexus to close this one out.
And he needs it. What's that Ratchet Bomb at right now? 1?
1.
So he needs it next turn, off the top.
Right.
Yeah.
Sharfman still has no way to kill Tyler, but he sure does have a lot of counterspells. I'd go for the throat in his hand, you see there. Tribute to Hunger. Sharfman gains 2 life up to 4.
Tyler has no open mana, so he's not going to be able to dispatch his own guy.
Nope.
Or I guess he doesn't even have Metalcraft. Kind of unusual at this stage of the game.
Yeah. And now the slow Snapcaster beats commence. Tyler asks how many cards Sharfman has left in his deck.
Yeah, and that Origin Spellbomb's not too bad right now.
No, it's not. Draws him a card, makes a 1/1, and Ratchet Bomb is not on 0.
Of course, it's on 2 counters now, so actually the Ratchet Bomb can clean up.
Right.
The Ratchet Bomb can take out the Tempered Steel, and then Double Curse is kind of a very painful quandary for Tyler.
Painful quandary? Is that in Sharfman's sideboard?
Highly doubt it.
Sharfman Drown Yards Tyler, milling that Hero of Bladehold. His only creature that actually lives through. Ratchet Bomb ticks up to 3.
And David just drew another Snapcaster Mage, which I think is...
Yeah, that should lock it up right there.
Yeah.
At this point, Tyler Schiner would have to go Tempered Steel, Tempered Steel, Tempered Steel, Inkwalk Nexus. Something crazy like that.
Crazier things have happened.
Yeah, this is Magic the Gathering.
But, I mean, even double Tempered Steel off the top. Isn't David, doesn't he have both Dissipates now?
Yeah, so
so one Tempered Steel off the top.
Steel gone.
And, yeah, David still has another Dissipate in his hand even after that Dissipate. And
one
has
Dissipate
Snapcaster Mage.
Yep.
So...
And Tyler's milling 7 cards a turn, including his draw step. So, and there's the Nexus. So Nexus milled, no more poison left in Tyler Shiner's deck. And yeah, he has to be kicking himself for that mistake.
Yeah, that cost him the game.
Yeah, it did.
That's the thing is, you play all these games of Magic, and a lot of the time, games are blowouts in one way or the other, but, we've seen over and over this weekend, the player who played better, the player who did not make mistakes, ended up
almost all the games.
Ended up winning almost all the games, yeah.
So,
skill game.
Yeah. So 2 more Drown Yards. We'll slowly see Tyler's deck milled away here. It'll be a race between the Snapcaster and the Drown Yards. It looks like the Drown Yards will win this one.
I think you're right. It's a good place to be when you're, in a battle with yourself for how you're going to kill your opponent.
Right.
Players, we've got just about 10 minutes remaining to register for the draft open. You're also taking steps for the legacy open. Draft open is up here to Steve. Left. Aaron. Legacy open over here.
So there you see, David Sharfman wins that game.
Yeah, so David Sharfman winning the first game of that match.
Yeah.
And we're about to give away 6 free months of Star City Games Premium.
6. 6 free months. Okay,
6 free months.
cool.
That's half of a year.
Half a year Star City Games Premium for free if you can answer this trivia question correctly.
Yeah. Now, next weekend in Dallas-Fort Worth, I was going to be doing commentary with Sam Stoddard, but I'm actually having a party that weekend.
Yeah.
Cannot attend. So...
More important than Star City Open Dallas-Fort Worth? Just a little bit?
A little bit more important.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're going to be there instead of me.
I will.
Yeah. And,
put me in, Coach.
Yeah, there's going to be another commentator there, though. Besides Zach here. And we'd like to know who that commentator is.
First-time commentator.
Yeah. So if you want to tweet to hashtag SCG Premium, you can tell us who the commentator is, who's going to be in the booth with Zach next weekend. And... you will give yourself an opportunity to win 6 free months of Star City Games Premium.
Right. Just make sure you use that hashtag SCG Premium. You can tweet at SCG Live. You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to tweet at anything else.
Nope.
But you can tweet at whatever you want to.
Exactly. Just use SCG Premium and let us know who that commentator is.
Yeah.
And we'll be announcing that winner after the semifinal match has completed. So as long as you get your answer in before then, you'll be good.
Tyler Schiner. Let's see if he can, pull himself together. Because when I make a mistake like that, I know the next game I play significantly worse.
Oh
Magic.
yeah, I think almost every Magic player does. The players that tell you they don't are not telling the truth. They might not know they're not telling the truth, but they are. They definitely play worse.
I think there are very few people who are actually immune to tilting, and by very few I mean none.
Just about none. Maybe Kai's in the running. Maybe.
Probably not.
Probably not. Maybe. No. Definitely not.
This match against Brad in Amsterdam, he definitely steamed and lost again.
Yeah, that's true. He might have been the Amsterdam champion. He had a pretty good deck for that tournament.
He did. In fact, the person who won the entire tournament was playing almost an identical 75 to him.
Exactly. So as the players shuffle up for game 2, we'll take a look at the sideboarding. We've told you a little bit about it already, but just to go through it again, David Sharfman has access to 2 Batterskull, 2 Bloodline Keeper, a Flash Freeze, 2 Negate, 1 Nephalia Drownyard, a Ghost Quarter, 2 Nihil Spellbomb, 1 Phantasmal Image, 2 Surgical, and a Worm Coil. So right off the bat, you know he's going to bring in the life gain cards, the 2 Batterskulls and the Worm Coil. Those are, they'll be really good for him. I think he'll bring in the Bloodline Keeper too.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I can't imagine Tyler's going to keep in Dispatch.
Right.
And that makes Bloodline Keeper really good. And if Tyler does keep in Dispatch because he knows about the Bloodline Keeper, Dispatches are kind of bad at all stages of the game until Bloodline Keeper matters.
Right.
And
Tyler Schiner needs his opening 7 to apply the maximum amount of pressure to Sharfman.
yeah, he wants to be proactive here.
Right. So it would be nice to be able to keep the Dispatches in. I don't think he's going to. In terms of sideboarding out, Sharfman has a lot of easy cards to side out. Of course, those Go for the Throats won't be good. Think Twice's won't be great. Grave Titan, definitely worse than Worm Coil and Bloodline Keeper. Blue Sun Zenith might not need that one. So a lot of cards to side out, a lot of options for Dave Sharfman.
Yeah, Glint Hawk, the only creature in Tyler's deck that is not wearing a scarf.
Right. Who has a throat.
Yes, the only throated creature.
Mm-hmm. And looking at Tyler Shiner's sideboard, 2 Hero of Bladehold, 2 Celestial Purge, an O-Ring, a Ray of Revelation, Shrine of Loyal Legions, 4 of those, 2 Divine Offering, 1 Timely, 1 Revoke Existence, 1 Indomitable Archangel. So, like we were talking about before, he has a ton of ways to kill enchantments. So if he's worried about that curse, he'll have ways to kill it. I have to imagine we'll see the Ray of Revelation. I have to imagine we'll see Revoke Existence, also kill something like Ratchet Bomb.
I think Celestial Purge is the only definite card we're going to see. Well, Shrine of Loyal Legions, obviously.
Right.
But the Celestial Purge is nice because you can obviously target a Grave Titan or a Curse of Death's Hold, but it's also a card that's good if you happen to run into one of those 2 Bloodline Keepers.
That's true too. And that's a really nice hedge for Tyler, because he wants to be able to kill that curse anyway, and the Purge lets him do that. I think we might see the Revoke for similar reasons, because that'll kill Batterskull and also Worm Coil Engine, as well as, of course, the curses.
Yeah, a really effective way to deal with Worm Coil Engine.
Right.
There aren't many ways to do that.
No, almost none.
Dispatch, also an effective way, but...
Right. Yeah, I mean, Tyler Schiner didn't even have Metalcraft that game, that late into the game, so Dispatch is just not really reliable. So we'll probably see 2 Celestial Purge, 1 Revoke, maybe a Ray of Revelation, Shrine of Loyal Legions, probably all 4 of those. And I think that'll be about it. Maybe more Hero of Bladehold, because he knows that Sharfman will be taking out his Go for the Throats. Could definitely see that. Hero of Bladehold, not a card that you usually want in this kind of matchup, just because it's so expensive, but Sharfman doesn't have that many ways to interact with it. He'll have to use his Mana Leaks on earlier cards.
2 minutes left to sign up for the first draft open.
So Tyler Schiner, a lot of ways to sideboard here. He can side out his more useless artifacts like Signal Pests and Memnites, things like that, but he also can't side out too many.
Yeah, he needs to keep his curve low.
Yeah. Signal Pest, though, pretty miserable against Sharfman.
Yeah, I think Signal Pest is the most obvious cut here.
Right. Signal Pest Dispatch, that's 8 cuts right there. That's 4 Shrine, 2 Purge, 1 Revoke, 1 Hero, and then he only has to cut 1 more card for that other hero. So probably probably not too tough of a sideboarding choice for Tyler Schiner. We'll see. Post board, who do you give the edge to in this matchup?
I think David has the edge post board. I think pre-board Tyler kind of needed to win that game one.
I think so too. That game one was really important for him, as David just had a few dead cards in his deck, just had a really, really suboptimal draw, clearly. I mean, we saw how deep he had to dig to simply deal with 3 creatures. Yeah, Tyler Schiner looking pretty upset with himself right there. I wonder, though, even if the table judge had pointed out that he couldn't activate the township,
I mean,
Tyler was already in his attack phase.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was just a mistake on his part.
Right. He would have had to realize that beforehand and attack with those Nexi. Interesting question from Twitter from Ravager Sam. Tyler used mana for township that he didn't have. Is David responsible for realizing his opponent couldn't do that? Under the new Magic rules, he is definitely responsible for that. He would have gotten a warning too.
But to be clear, David, even though his opponent attempted to activate township, perhaps it was mentioned right away, and he was just like, oh, and then didn't have any other play and just kept his lands tapped and passed in frustration, because David only gained 2 off his tribute.
Exactly. It didn't really matter much because no damage was dealt, no counters were added. It just mattered how much for how much life Dave gained. That's all.
Yeah, and Dave did not gain the extra life off of it, so he did not, abuse an opportunistic.
Exactly. There was no upside for him.
Yeah, there was no upside. He's clean.
Yep. So Tyler mulling to 6. Sharfman keeps his 7. Second mulligan in 2 games for Tyler. But again, it doesn't really matter how many cards he has. It just matters the quality and aggressiveness of his start. Because we know Sharfman will out-card Schiner. We know that. Just a fact. Really, the card that makes this deck possible is Forbidden Alchemy. It really just makes the blue-black deck able to go toe-to-toe with any other deck. Know that it will be able to out-card him at any stage of the game.
I think David may have a hand that's good if he draws something, and I know he's not going to keep it unless he has a lot of opportunities to do that and a lot of ways to make that happen. But, Tyler going to 5. All right, and suddenly Dave's looking away from the table. Never mind.
Dave's shouting all his friends, he's on 5, he's on 5.
David's looking to see who's winning the other match. He's getting a little ahead of himself.
Yeah, he is. He wants to know if he'll be playing against zombies or ramp, but he still needs to defeat this opponent here. Tempered Steel can have some sick draws, even on 5 cards. That's true. Bryce points out on Twitter, well, if he couldn't township and he had mana open, he could have activated the Nexus and sacked it to Tribute, which would have been a big deal.
Yeah.
Now that we think about it. So definitely, Tyler definitely made a mistake there, and that cost him in a few ways.
It cost him in a few ways. I also think, some of this responsibility is on the judge sitting there, and I know it's
right. So Tyler on 5 cards will draw his opener, see if he finds anything better. What's the nuts for Tyler? Like land, Mox Opal? Oh, well, we'll see.
That is not the nuts.
No, Razor Verge Thicket Go is not the best he could hope for. So no play.
Why no Inkmoth on turn 1?
I'm not sure. Is that an Indomitable Archangel?
Why does he have Indomitable Archangel?
Sure. But Tempered Steel gets mana leaked. And David Sharfman, no other play yet. Tyler Schiner with Signal Pest in post board. Can't say I like that.
I'm not a fan of that either. Also not a fan of Indomitable Archangel. The sideboard has a lot of play here.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad, just because Sharfman will be taking out his Go for the Throats. But not that impressive, no.
I mean, you just have better cards, though. Because he's taking
Right.
out the go for the threat, so you want to bring in Hero. Yeah, there you go.
And there's Hero.
But,
So maybe he just brought in all the 4-drops.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
I do not like single pest, though.
No, me neither. I'm having trouble figuring out what he took out. Memnite, maybe?
Memnite's way better than single pest here.
Yeah. The only reason you would ever have Signal Pest is because it plays better with the shrines. But even that's such a small upside. So end of turn, Sharfman Alchemies, digging for an answer to that hero perhaps. Curse of Deathhold would do that pretty well.
Yes, it will. Another card that would be very good right now is Tribute to Hunger.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
But, if Sharfman doesn't have one of those, and Hero can kind of just win a game really fast all by itself.
Right. Exactly. If Sharfman's just sitting on Dissipates. Oh no, I guess he would have dissipated it. Hard to actually figure out what Sharfman could have in hand that doesn't beat a Hero of Bladehold.
Yeah.
But
it's going to be pretty tough at this point. Tyler Mulligan, both games.
yep, 3 mulligans in 2 games. Not what you want to be doing against a deck that is so as grindy as blue-black. Sharfman, though, wants to make sure he does the right play this turn. Knows that even though his opponent's on 5 cards, he can still lose. Wants to make sure to not give anything away, give no cards away, no extra life points away. Wants to play tight. And he just says go. And Tyler Schiner will ask for his attack phase. He'll really hope David says yes.
I mean, a Tribute here doesn't really do it. I mean, ooh.
Oof. Wow, okay.
He's digging.
A Mana Leak, that's not it.
That's not what he's looking
This
for.
hero might actually go to town on David Sharfman.
It looks like, wow. That's not what I expected to happen at all.
No, I'm not sure what Sharfman has in hand here. Looks like the hand he kept was just Mana Leak, Mana Leak. But that hand doesn't seem very good on the draw.
No, not at all. Signal Pest. See, I don't like that. I think that it is significantly better plays just to play your land in Gavany Township when you attack. Play your land pre-combat. It makes you way safer to so many things.
I think that's a Nexus, not a Township. I think that's the problem.
Oh, it is a Nexus. Okay. Hence.
Right. Your play would have been way better, though. It looks like Dave wants to...
See, and this is a... Oh, yeah, the tap land.
Yeah.
I think I would have slow-rolled the Glenhawk Idol a little more. Like, when he's got that mana on tap and he didn't have a removal spell, like, what are the odds that he doesn't have a counter spell?
Right. Ooh, and that's a Batter Skull. That will outright kill Hero of Bladehold, unless Tyler has a great draw here.
Let's see. Is Tyler able to find something that he needs for this? Or is he on the Infect plan again?
He might be.
Vault Scourge?
Vault Scourge, okay. Now, Sharfman is taking a lot of damage this turn. His Germ Trokin will trade with the Hero of Bladehold, and Sharfman himself looks like he will take 12 if Tyler decides to attack with everything. He'll gain 4, so he'll end up at 5 life and 3 infect after this attack phase.
Yeah, and there will be a lot of guys in play also.
Right. Sharfman would need a Black Sun Zenith at that point.
Tyler's got
Or
to
a
send with
curse.
everybody.
Yeah, he has no choice.
Yeah, leaving the hero back now, like, it's
Just
it's
asking him to
definitely
get killed.
it's something you want to do, but something you really just can't do.
Right. David Sharfman, or rather Tyler Schreiner, probably trying to think about Tragic Slip, because Sharfman did leave up a Dark Slick Shores and not a Ghost Quarter. But at this point, I don't think you can afford to play around it at all.
I don't think you can afford to play around it either.
I think he needs to turn his men sideways, pray that Sharfman doesn't have anything, pray for no curse, no Black Sun,
And that's how you can win. You mulligan to 5.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you just have to turn everything sideways every single turn.
Yeah, that's his only shot. Because Dave Sharfman, if you let the game go long, Sharfman will take over.
Yeah.
And you know, Tyler Schiner should know that. He went for it last game. Sharfman re-sleeving his Joker.
Yeah.
Still a little crooked, buddy. Get it right. Oh no, Tyler.
No, Tyler. Yeah, that may cost him the game.
So Sharfman up to 2 Infect. But I don't understand the Infect plan because there's a Ghost Quarter on board.
Yeah, it just will not work. You know it will not work.
And now Sharfman just gets to gain 4.
Yeah, it has Vigilance.
Yeah. Vigilance.
Like, it's not like you get any value from leaving your guys back.
No, you give your opponent 4 free life at the cost of 2 Infect, and there's another Ghost Quarter.
Yeah, so now he's really got to be off that Infect plan.
Right. Now Sharfman has 7 mana available.
And now he can even just bounce the Batter Skull, things like that. Like, it's not even that good to attack with everybody anymore.
Right.
When last turn, it really would have mattered a lot.
Shrine of Loyal Legions for Shiner, way too late.
Yeah, that's a card he really wants on turn 2.
That will not do anything against a lifelinking Batter Skull.
And with what's in David's hand, you know, had Tyler attacked with everybody, I think he would have won this game.
I think so too.
That's the way the math worked out.
Yeah, his next attack would be for 10. That would even win through, say, a Wormcoil Engine, I think. To those of you on Twitter who thought he had lethal, you have to remember the 4 life that he gains from the Batter Skull token. So he would have ended up at 4. So Dave Sharfman looks like he's going up to 4 Infect. And I imagine he'll flashback in Alchemy. Yep, that's what he does. Looking for a curse. And once he finds it, this game will not be good for Tyler.
And now it's looking like David just going through the cogs. Probably very surprised that he's winning this game right now.
Yeah, I think so. Just a little more aggressive play from Tyler might have taken it down. You know, Tyler played really well yesterday in the top 8 against Steven Mann.
He did. It's some really tight play. Like, his combat was always perfect.
Yep. This match, though, probably less used to playing against Control, more used to playing against another aggro deck. More creature combat. You know, oftentimes...
Also, perhaps more used to playing at 10 p.m. than 8 a.m.
Right, yeah, that one too.
You know.
A lot of times also, against a deck like Blue-Black, you think you can just sit back, you think you can just wait. You want, you know, a little more stable position before you attack and go for it, or play your spell, or whatever it might be. But against Blue-Black, they're always going to be flashing stuff back. They're always going to have something to do. So the more turns you just say go, the less in the game you are. And there's that Black Sun.
You just let that happen.
Yeah.
You know? I've played a lot with control decks at all levels, and I can tell you that the control deck at F&M is far stronger than the control deck at the Pro Tour.
Right.
Pro Tour, I've had significantly more success attacking with guys, whereas in local stores and in PDQs, I've had significantly more success countering spells and drawing cards.
Yeah, against a player like David Sharfman, a player of his caliber, you're not going to be able to win the long game against him. He's not going to give you an opportunity to do that. So you have to take it. That 3/3 germ attacks, bringing Sharfman up to 22, Tyler down to 9. As a counter, of course, from the Black Sun Zenith. And
Think twice?
Yep, think twice.
Just checking if he can find a curse on the top of his deck to resolve.
At this point, the only thing Sharfman is really worried about is that Nexus.
Now, a lot of people always wait till their opponent's end steps to use these think twices, things like that. David, every time it's advantageous through his turn, he's doing it his turn. Every time it's not, he's doing it on his opponent's turn.
Right.
It's useful to start learning those interactions if you're planning on playing a blue-black control deck in a tournament.
That's definitely true. It's those little things that really separate the good players from the great players of the control decks. So he'll Nephalia Drownyard himself, milling a Grave Titan.
Let's see. Tyler down to 6 now.
6 to 25. And there's the curse.
Yeah.
And that should do it. Now Tyler's Shrine of Loyal Legions is useless, as Inkmoth Nexus is just a colorless land. And he will quickly be out of life points.
And another useless Inkmoth.
Sharfman mills himself just in case.
Just a little bit of free value.
Yep.
So you never know.
3 more. And right into the graveyard.
Yeah, it just dies.
Or not. So life total is 28 to 3.
Tyler's in a bad spot when his opponent, the Pro Tour champion, lets him do take backs.
Right. And Signal Festival not doing. That's the handshake.
That's it.
Congratulations, David Sharfman, one of our finalists.
Such a master.
Yeah. Really proving why he's Pro Tour champion.
Legacy Open champion, Draft Open